The shocking murder of a prominent conservative voice has left the nation reeling. But what truly ignited a firestorm online was the mysterious gadget seen on him right before the fatal shot. Imagine stepping onto a stage, full of life and passion, only to have everything end in a split second because of something hidden in plain sight. Witnesses swear they spotted an odd device clipped to his shirt, and when detectives dug deeper, the revelations turned stomachs. This isn't just a tragedy, it's a puzzle that exposes our deepest fears and divisions. His passing didn't merely sadden his followers, it unleashed a torrent of bewilderment, rage, and paranoia across the country. Videos popped up everywhere, capturing what seemed like a concealed tool tucked under his coat just moments before the chaos. Some whispered it was a health tracker, others insisted it was surveillance gear. Officials stayed silent, fueling the frenzy. The closer folks examined, the more riddles emerged. What purpose did it serve? Who supplied it? To grasp the wild ideas that exploded from this, we have to break down what he had on him that fateful afternoon. Reports from various onlookers paint a picture. He wasn't just in a casual tee promoting liberty when he took the podium. He carried gear that soon became fodder for endless debates and outlandish guesses. Rumors swirled about protective padding beneath his clothes. A savvy observer in finance and intel circles posted online that he might have worn a shield against bullets. This wasn't baseless chatter. The idea was that such armor could have deflected the deadly round, sending it bouncing up into his throat instead of straight through his chest. This notion got a surprising nod from his grieving spouse, who shared that he'd brushed off her pleas for protection at earlier gatherings but perhaps relented this time amid growing dangers. If accurate, that choice adds a heartbreaking twist to the horror. They took him out for championing love of country, belief in higher powers, and compassion. But mark my words, if his voice echoed strongly before, the backlash now will shake the foundations. Trusted reports confirm he faced warnings in the months leading up. A safety specialist had cautioned him early that year about the risks of campus talks. Without tighter safeguards like shatterproof barriers, weapon scans, crowd checks, and vigilance against far-off shooters. Another writer recalled a chat where he casually mentioned menacing messages, yet he shrugged it off as the price of visibility in politics. Hate comes with the territory, he'd say. It toughens you up. If you're not drawing fire, you're probably playing it safe. Maybe even aiding the opposition unknowingly. He acknowledged the perils, and hints from his family suggest he geared up accordingly. So, did those safeguards ironically steer the bullet to a fatal spot? That protective layer sparked debate, but it paled next to the item that truly lit the fuse of suspicion: his everyday speaking mic. As a seasoned orator addressing huge crowds nationwide, he used a compact wireless clip, standard for such release, a tiny unit on his collar, linked to a transmitter on his waist or out of sight. Totally routine for anyone in the spotlight, but soon eagle-eyed viewers twisted it into something deadly. The hottest rumor: that mic pack hid a tiny blast charge, rigged to launch a slow-moving dart into his throat on command. It echoed those pager bombs that stunned the globe last year in overseas clashes. Backers scoured slow-mo clips, spotting a dark speck, maybe the clip shifting toward his neck before the spray, his frame twitching oddly pre-impact. They argued the injury aligned perfectly with the mic's spot on his left side. Some claimed a lump under his shirt activated shortly before. The tale snowballed online. Perhaps a guard triggered it, like that stern figure in shades nearby. Or a distant signal did the job. No hands dirty, up close. What glued this idea was the wound's neatness, no messy exit. The round stuck after shattering bone. Skeptics said it didn't scream high-speed rifle from over 100 yards. A brain expert, chatting with a known pundit, called it feasible but unproven without full medical docs. That hedge just fanned the flames. But the mic wasn't alone in the spotlight. Folks zoomed in on a bump under his shirt, wires snaking up, birthing theories of staged blood squibs or remote kill switches. Angles from phones got dissected for clues. Even his team's quick hustle offstage raised brows, hands swapping something before Fed showed. Some said, the private farewell and withheld body scans, proof of hush-up to theorists. Welder still claims a protector fired a hidden minigun point-blank, not some rooftop loner. They flagged a bystander in earth tones grinning post-shot. Odd for real panic. Why no stray hits if from afar? The weirdest, a backstage lens was actually a robot assassin, whisked away, pre-probe, for perfect aim, sans human error. All these yarns shared a core, ditching the tale of one isolated shooter with a gun. They hinted at sinister forces muting a rising star. To trace their birth, let's step back to that crisp September morning in Utah, where hope turned to nightmare. Thousands flocked to the campus arena, buzzing for another rally in a tour rallying the spirit of renewal. The air crackled with excitement around this dynamic 31-year-old leader who'd rallied young minds to timeless ideals, civil talk, and national pride. Around noon, he bounded on, tossing caps to the throng of eager faces. In his go-to white shirt, screaming freedom a staple at these mitts, he dove in, fielding queries, sparking minds, connecting on what shaped tomorrow. Unseen, a young local had slipped onto grounds hours prior in a sleek ride. Officials later pieced his path via cams and tips. For a brief stretch, all flowed smoothly. He bantered, challenged, embodied the open exchange he'd championed. Then, in a heartbeat past midday, terror struck. A lone blast to the throat, seemingly from a high perch nearby. A challenger from the left had just posed what became his final exchange. In a Raw TV sit-down soon after, that questioner relived the dread. A pop like fireworks. Then the strike. Blood-blooming eye. Hit the deck. Knowing this was targeted, not random carnage. Pandemonium erupted. Lenses catching every angle for endless review by pros and armchair detectives alike. He was sped to medics with a gushing neck hit from what seemed a powerful launch. The damage proved too much. This devoted dad and bold advocate faded fast. Gone by early afternoon. The commander-in-chief broke the news online. He's left us a soul who captured young hearts like no other. Rage and sorrow mix at this vile act on school grounds. Tributes flooded from all sides leaders. Stars, voices high and low. The Veep offered solace and faith. A top legislator decried the hate, urging an end to such fury. Even a past head of state denounced it outright. No room here for brutality. As candles lit and memories shared across lines, doubts simmered below. Mismatches in the tale, whispers that poked holes. If this story touches your heart, please share it. The day after, a network analyst once at odds with him dropped a bombshell on air. We'd clashed fiercely online lately, but hours before, he reached out privately, inviting real talk on his platform. It showed a bridge builder to the end, making the loss sting deeper. Probes raced ahead. Feds nabbed the suspected Tula-scoped vintage rifle ditched in brush. Shells bore odd marks, first tied to fringe views, later pegged to game lore. By next dawn, the accused campus kid surrendered after kin spotted his face in alerts. Story sealed. Solo actor atop a close building. One precise pull from 140 paces. Jeans tied him to the piece and spot. Slug bits matched near perfect. Done deal. Harley. As sleuths pored over clips, glitches appeared, birthing the gear myths we unpacked. So, what's real amid the haze? Why did these gadget tales grip so tight? Trumping the clean-cut lone wolf yarn? Speed of the wrap-up raised flags ID, gun, links, timeline, all buttoned fast. Two doubters, it screamed script, not sleuthing. Then the proof quirks. Those shell scribbles botched early, eroding trust. What else got twisted? Deeper, his role mattered. A shifting stance on global hotspots like Mideast tensions drew eyes. Some spun webs of foreign ops or backers silencing evolution. Overseas outlets hyped it, tying to old scandals. But facts, post-mortem showed a front neck entry at standing height, suiting a distant blast. Pulled shard synced to the found barrel. Prints and strands nailed the perp to sight and shoes. Inquiry pins it on him. Motive rooted in clashing ideals. Death sought. Mic blast bunked. Checks show sound precedes spray. Fitting range, not nearby pop. Tiny packs can't pack punch without obvious tweaks. Blood flow screams real artery hit. No props. Handgun idea clashes with roof traces. Gun find. Links. Behavior oddities. Stress warps folks unpredictably. A Mythbuster notes, docs look solid. Gadget spins flop under lens. Yet tales linger. Why? Shocks like this beg patterns, not chaos. A young dad's random end. To Raw, plots with trick tech soothe, implying his light threatened titans, not one lost soul. A witness kid nailed it. This acts one freak in millions, not our voice. Truth on his kit. Likely just sensible vest for a targeted talker. Plus, basic sound gear for the masses. In that bold shirt, no booby traps, no fakes, just a guy fostering chat, cut by hate's blade. Records show nothing odd pulled from him, no rigged tools flagged. Exam found zilch beyond the strike. These gadget ghosts dodged the real scar. Violence lurks in discourse's heat, where words ignite triggers. His true arsenal, open ears, extended hands, faith and talk over walls. That's the spark to carry. What do you make of these wild ideas? Drop thoughts below. For more deep dive